Ever walked into a room and instantly felt seen? Like someone just knew you, not your name or your job, but the secret battles you don't post about? Meet the INFJ, the human equivalent of a soul translator. They're the rarest personality type for a reason, because pretending to be one is like faking a heartbeat. Think about it. You've got that one friend who texts you exactly when you're drowning in self-doubt. Or the coworker who resolves office drama with 3 calm sentences. They're not psychic, but dang, it's close. Here's the twist. INFJs don't even realize how rare they are. They're too busy overthinking your tone of voice or planning how to save the world by Tuesday. But today, we're pulling back the curtain. We're revealing 10 INFJ traits that are impossible to fake. The kind you can't learn from a self-help book or a TED Talk. Why does this matter? Because in a world full of influencers chasing trends, INFJs are the quiet rebels. They're the ones who'd rather be hated for being real than loved for being fake. And if you've ever wondered why you trust them instantly, or why they ghost you after one lie, you're about to find out. Stick around. By the end, you'll either be texting your INFJ friend saying, "OHHH, that's why you do that," or Googling, "Am I an INFJ?" at 2 a.m. Let's dive in. 1. Deep empathy that feels like a superpower. INFJs don't just care about your feelings, they physically and emotionally absorb them. Imagine walking into a room where someone is quietly upset. While others might offer a polite, "Are you okay?" an INFJ will feel that sadness in their own body, like a heaviness in their chest. This isn't something they turn on or off. It's wired into their DNA. They'll remember the exact tone of your voice when you mentioned a childhood fear 6 months ago and check in on you about it when you least expect it. People who fake empathy might say the right words, but they can't mirror the way INFJs genuinely celebrate your joys or mourn your losses as if they were their own. This trait leaves INFJs exhausted, though. After a day of comforting friends or coworkers, they often retreat to recharge alone. No imposter would willingly sign up for that level of emotional labor. 2. Future-oriented visionaries. No crystal ball needed. INFJs don't just plan for tomorrow. They're obsessed with the bigger picture. Their minds are like GPS systems constantly recalculating routes to a better future. While others focus on what's for dinner, INFJs are analyzing how today's choices will impact their relationships, careers, or even society a decade from now. For example, an INFJ might warn a friend about a toxic partner long before red flags become obvious. Not because they're judgmental, but because they've already mapped out how that relationship will spiral. Fakers might pretend to be wise by dropping vague advice like, "Trust your gut." But INFJs back their insights with detailed logic. They see patterns in chaos, connecting dots others miss, which makes their predictions eerily accurate. 3. Unshakable authenticity in a filtered world. In a world obsessed with Instagram filters and TikTok trends, INFJs are stubbornly real. They'd rather stand alone than pretend to agree with popular opinions that clash with their values. Picture a group laughing at a mean-spirited joke. While others join in to fit in, the INFJ stays silent, their face subtly saying, "I won't compromise my soul for your approval." People pretending to be INFJs might act quirky or deep at first, but they'll crack under pressure. For example, a fake might preach about honesty but gossip behind closed doors. A real INFJ, they'll call out the gossip politely but firmly, even if it costs them friendships. Their authenticity isn't a performance, it's a reflex. 4. The walking contradiction, extroverted introverts. INFJs break every stereotype. They can host a dinner party, cracking jokes and sparking deep conversations, only to disappear for a week to recharge alone. They crave meaningful connections but hate small talk. At a networking event, they'll bond deeply with one person in a corner instead of working the room. A fake INFJ might force themselves to act like a social butterfly or a hermit, but the real deal balances both worlds naturally. One day, they're organizing a community fundraiser, extroverted mode, and the next, they're hiking solo for hours without telling a soul, introverted mode. This duality confuses people, but for INFJs, it's as normal as breathing. 5. Secretly reading you like a cheap paperback. INFJs notice everything. They'll spot the hesitation in your handshake, the forced smile when you say, "I'm fine," or the way you avoid eye contact when lying. While others might ask, "Is something wrong?" an INFJ will say, "You've been doubting your job choices since your manager criticized your project last month, right?" It's not mind reading, it's hyper-awareness of body language, tone, and patterns. Fakers might try to mimic this by making random guesses, but INFJs back their observations with evidence. For example, they'll remind you that you've canceled plans 3 times this month, which never happens, and gently ask if you're avoiding something. 6. Idealism that's more stubborn than a mule. INFJs don't just dream of a better world, they're obsessed with building it. They'll spend years mentoring a struggling student, volunteer at homeless shelters at midnight, or fight for a cause everyone else forgot. This isn't about looking good. It's a burning need to fix what's broken. A fake might post inspirational quotes online, but an INFJ will skip meals to help a stranger move apartments or work pro bono for a nonprofit. Their idealism isn't naive, they know the world is flawed, but they refuse to stop trying. Even after failures, they'll say, "Maybe the next attempt will work," and keep going. 7. The art of quiet leadership, no mic drops required. INFJs lead by action, not speeches. They're the coworker who stays late to help you fix a presentation without taking credit, or the friend who nudges you to see a situation from a kinder perspective. While fake leaders shout orders, INFJs inspire through quiet example. At a team meeting, they'll listen to everyone's ideas first, then weave them into a plan that makes the whole group feel heard. Their strength isn't in authority but in empathy. For instance, if a colleague is slacking, an INFJ won't scold them. They'll ask, "Are you dealing with something? How can I help?" This approach disarms people, creating loyalty no forced leadership style can match. 8. Privacy that's mistaken for mystery. INFJs are often called mysterious, but they're just fiercely protective of their inner world. They'll share personal stories if it helps someone else, but you'll never catch them oversharing for attention. For example, an INFJ might reveal their own past struggles with anxiety to comfort a friend but keep their current relationship drama private. Fakers might drop vague, dramatic hints like, "I've been through hell" to seem interesting, but INFJs only open up when there's trust. Ask an INFJ about their childhood, and they'll pause, deciding if you'll handle their truth with care. Cross that trust, and they'll shut down faster than a slammed door. 9. The INFJ door slam, a boundary you can't unbreak. The infamous door slam isn't a tantrum. It's a last resort survival move. INFJs tolerate a lot. Flaky friends, selfish partners, or toxic family members. But if you attack their core values, like cruelty or dishonesty, they'll cut you off without warning. One day, they're answering your calls. The next, you're blocked everywhere. No yelling, no closure, just silence. Fakers might stage dramatic, "I'm done" exits for attention, but INFJs door slam quietly. They'll mourn the loss privately but never look back. Why? Because they've already given you 100 chances and finally realized their peace matters more. 10. Emotional resilience forged in fire. INFJs aren't unbreakable. They've just learned to turn pain into power. Growing up too sensitive taught them to adapt. For example, if an INFJ loses their job, they'll spend one day crying, then revamp their resume, network relentlessly, and land a better role. If betrayed, they'll write poetry or start a blog to process it instead of seeking revenge. Fakers crumble under criticism, but INFJs use it as fuel. Their resilience isn't about ignoring hurt. It's about thinking, "How can I grow from this?" While others stay stuck in "why me?" 11. The light worker vibe that draws broken souls. INFJs attract people in crisis like moths to a flame. Addicts, heartbroken strangers, or coworkers on the verge of tears instinctively seek them out. Why? Because INFJs radiate calm, non-judgmental energy. At a party, while others avoid the awkward guest, the INFJ sits with them, asking, "What's really going on?" Fakers might play therapist for praise, but INFJs genuinely believe in your strength, even when you don't. They'll see the good in you and reflect it back until you start believing it. 12. A voice that harmonizes every conflict. INFJs hate drama but thrive in resolving it. They're the ones who calm screaming matches with phrases like, "What I hear you saying is," or "Let's find a middle ground." At family dinners, when politics heat up, the INFJ steps in. "Uncle Joe, you're worried about the economy. Aunt Lisa, you care about equality. What if we talk solutions instead of problems?" Fakers might take sides or escalate tensions, but INFJs stay neutral, focused on understanding, not winning. Their goal isn't to be right, it's to create peace. Conclusion. So, did you recognize someone or yourself in these traits? Here's the thing. INFJs rarely realize how special they are. They're too busy lifting others up to notice their own light. If you have an INFJ in your life, cherish them. They're the ones who'll remember your birthday, listen to your 2 a.m. rants, and fight for justice even when it's hard. And if you are an INFJ, embrace your contradictions. The world needs your quiet strength, your empathy, and your stubborn belief in good, even when others call it naive. Keep being unapologetically you. After all, these traits aren't just your personality. They're your superpower.